And we're live. Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of Doc Tales of Fisherman's Story. Tonight we have with us Miss Ronda Haas, a.k.a. Catfishing for Whiskers. Welcome, Ronda.
Hi.
Hi, Rhonda.
Hi,
Jody.
Jody.
Jody, I love the glasses.
Oh, you
We're
did.
gonna change the layout here. Just I shouldn't have. Why? They look good on you. Hold on, we're gonna.
Just in case you try to pull something.
No, I wouldn't do you like that. You know that.
You just called me out.
How you doing tonight,
Nobody
Rhonda?
really noticed.
Well, I think you look beautiful.
I think she looks good.
And if you can read the chat, all the better, right?
Let's see if I can.
Give it a go.
Here we go.
Who we got in chat tonight?
We got Skull Rush, Chris Everett, your little brother, Avid Fisherman, Florida Explorer, PV, Catfishing, aka Paul Boyd. Yeah, I know them all now. I even know what they're writing.
There you go.
They're talking about ice cream.
Yay!
Oh yeah.
Chat.
I think that's. I think they're talking about Miss Michelle's video on the coffee ice cream she made.
Yeah.
All right. Did you say Mike Sampson? Hello, Mike. Tim Molina. Welcome, Tim. Travis Young. Buck Williams. All right. So how you doing tonight, Rhonda?
I'm doing wonderful, Mr. Tom. How are you?
I'm doing well. Let's get started tonight. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh boy, where do we start? I was born and raised in Baltimore City until I got married, and then I moved into the county, and that's where my real fishing experience came from. Was my first marriage. He was a fisherman and a hunter, so I learned quick.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really target species. We just fished to fish. So get to learn a whole new different perspective of fishing coming into the community.
Right. What kind of things did you fish for?
We would fish for blue fish, striper or rockfish.
Right.
A lot of times we were fishing for panfish like white perch and yellow perch. And usually catfish just kind of happened while we were fishing for that. It was never that we went out to go catfishing.
Right. So then now you have embraced the catfishing to some degree.
Yes.
What brought you into that?
When my son became tutored at home for school, I noticed that he was only getting like 6 hours of actual schooling. And I'm like, no, this isn't working. So I started doing living classrooms with him where we would go to like different battlefields. We live close to the Eastern Shore. So I took him down and we did the Harriet Tubman walk in my footsteps and the Frederick Douglass walk in my footsteps and went and toured. And a lot of that's over by like Blackwater. And I started taking trips into the Blackwater Refuge and showing him the water. And I'm like, your mom knows how to fish. Would you like to try it? And he's like, I guess we could. So I started taking him fishing. He wasn't very patient at first. So the thought of teaching him bass fishing with the casting and reeling, it wasn't working for him. So I started trying picking it up for the bottom and things, and we started catching catfish. In fact, he was on a roll quite frequently where he would only catch 3 to 6 inch channel cats. which is how I gave him his name, Itty Bitty Kitty Committee, because he would always catch the tiniest little fish. And I'm like, you're the king of the Itty Bitty Kitty Committee. So that's how that channel came about. But so,
Wow.
yeah, that it's been just progressing from there. And then I started doing some research on Chop Tank River, where we fished a lot. And I found the Anglerholics because they had fished there. And from there, that's how I go into finding each and everybody that I now follow and you know, sub to and stuff like that.
That Chop Tank River Bridge, is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
The bridge over Route 50?
Yeah. The old Route 50 bridge to Ocean City that they dropped the center span and built a taller bridge so that, that's now closed to the public. You can't fish there anymore.
Yeah, I heard that. And I used to spend, when I was living in Maryland, I spent a lot of my nights off down there, you know. And it was a wonderful facility for going out and fishing. You had all that room on both sides of it. And let's catch some nice fish out there. It's a shame that it got ruined.
Yeah, it was a bunch of basically teenagers and younger kids that would go in there at night, cut the chains to the trash cans and throw them in the water. And the park services said they were tired of it, cut the electric and stopped us going out there at night. They still continued to go down there and do it. So now it's closed altogether.
Wow. That's a shame.
Yeah.
We're our own worst enemy sometimes.
Yeah.
So you said you grew up in Baltimore. I heard you grew up near the old Memorial Stadium.
Yes, I did. 33rd Street.
When the Colts used to play in Baltimore.
Yes.
Back in the day. Yep. I got to see, I'm being from New England. I'm a Patriots fan, and my buddy got tickets to go see them when they had come to play the Colts years and years ago. And obviously I've been there many a game to see the Red Sox before they went to Camden Yards. Or as we call Camden Yards as Red Sox fans, Fenway South.
Yeah.
Because when we go there, there's more Red Sox fans than Orioles fans in the stands.
There is. I live in Baltimore and won't go to either one of the new stadiums because I grew up with the Memorial Stadium and I was so devastated when they tore it down.
Yeah, that was a sad day. The new park is nice, though. It really is. It's a nice facility to see a game at. It's downtown near all the stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that. And I like the whole Inner Harbor setup. I guess the designer who designed the Inner Harbor also did the one in Boston years before that with the aquarium and all that centered around it. And that's a fun place to go and relatively safe in the daytime, at least anyways, to go down there and hang out.
Daytime, yes.
Yeah. I actually got to see the very first game in Camden Yards, not the first season game. They had a practice game the day before opening day against the Mets. And I had a ticket to go see that. And I got a program. So that was actually the first game at Camden Yards. And I got to see that. So that was cool. We got a whole bunch of new people have come into chat. Skull Rush says, "Go Ravens. I was born in Baltimore." There's Dale Hayslip, Tim Donna, Team Snag and Whiskers.
Dustin.
Chrissy Brown, welcome. Chrissy, I hope everything's well where you are. I saw what Ernie had put up earlier about the tornadoes in Ohio. Hope everybody's well. Half Century Catfishing. Indiana Chris in the house. Annette Morgan, welcome. David Smith, welcome. Crazy Hillbilly, hello. Yeah, I think that about catches us up.
No,
Brian B, welcome.
Now, Catfish Grande.
I'm going up. Okay, call him out if you got him. I haven't found him yet.
Catfish Grande. Let's see. Maybe I'm seeing people you can't see now. Nah.
Could be.
I don't know who all you called
Yeah, I don't
out.
see Catfish Grande,
He's at the bottom.
but I do see that Chrissy said hello to him. So,
Crazy Hillbilly. That's the name in there.
yep, got crazy. Well, if we missed you, we're sorry about that. If we see you in chat, we'll call you out if we don't remember calling you.
Kevin
We
Baker.
appreciate everybody coming in. We have 37 people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, who was that?
Kevin Baker.
Kevin?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome, Kevin. Haven't seen you around in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So spent some
Peg.
time with Kevin at CatCon.
Mm-hmm. Steve Adams.
Susquehanna. Oh, welcome, Steve. Susquehanna Stan. I see somebody saying hello to Stan.
Mm-hmm. Anthony Duckworth.
Oh, yeah, there's Steve Adams. Don't forget me. Don't forget me. How can we forget you, Steve?
Mm-hmm. Somebody give me a super chat to buy these glasses with. Tell me to go buy some
wow.
readers. So
There you go.
I went and bought readers.
There you
They're
go.
not real glasses.
Well, I think they look great on you.
I can see my phone,
Yeah,
but
I
that's
think
it.
they look great on you.
They
Yeah.
do.
Well, that's
If
what
I
it's
take
for.
Well, if I take it off, I can see the house. But if I put them on, I can only see the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see everything
Right,
else is
right.
blurry then.
Yeah. Yep, that's what readers are for. So you'll get to a point where you can put them on your nose and you can look down over them to see your rod tips, because that's what I got to do when when we're live on the dock at night in the dark, and
I can't
Yep.
see nothing.
I got to peek over the top of them when I want to see the rods. So I see Art's in the chat. Anthony Duckworth.
Quack, quack.
Chucky Morgan's in the house.
Hey, Chucky. They give me a reel this week. Remember? Appreciate
I saw
it.
that.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What kind of reel was it?
Ancient Mariner.
Nice.
And I'm going to catch a fish with it tomorrow.
And what'd you put that on?
Chucky rod.
Yeah.
Yep.
I see No Real Loss has joined the crew tonight. Welcome. Appreciate you, Bex.
Howdy.
So, Rhonda, what do you, I hear Itty Bitty recently graduated and you're doing something for his graduation present. What's that?
I'm taking him on a 1-week mom and son, I guess, tour. We're leaving tomorrow morning to come visit Mr. Tom and Miss Michelle at the dock for the weekend.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I will be down there visiting with you guys. And then when we leave your place, we're going to head down towards Gatlinburg and ride the Blue Ridge Parkway up into Virginia and then Skyline Drive back up towards home and just camp out and take our time doing it. It might take us a day, 2 days, 3 days, who knows?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That should be a nice drive. Hope you get good weather for that.
I hope
Going
so
through
too.
the mountain. Yeah.
Because I let Itty Bitty get his driver's license or his permit, so he wants to drive on some of these roads. So I'm like, okay, as long as the weather's good and no animals are active, I'll think about it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that should be an interesting adventure. I see Jody. I see Mr. Pork Chop is in the house.
Hey, Pork Chop. Mr. Barney Chop.
You got something going with him this week, or is that coming up?
Well, first off, I think tomorrow he's doing a 1v1 with Stan, Susquehanna Stan. And then after that, he's coming on my show and we're doing that Barney bet. So,
nice. He's a busy man.
Mm-hmm.
He's been calling everybody out.
I know.
And I think if I remember correctly, the Susquehanna Stan bet, the loser has to kiss a $20 bill with lipstick on and mail it to the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Is it purple lipstick or something?
I don't think they actually specified. I think they get to choose their own color, but I believe it has to be bold. Or if it was, I think Pork Chop was given pink and Stan red or something like that. I don't remember how the colors got chosen, but yeah.
Well, good luck to you, Pork Chop, and Stan and Jody.
Pucker up, Pork Chop.
Brave doing 2 in one day, boy.
So, Jody, as you know, Rhonda is going to be fishing in your Flathead Challenge tomorrow night from the dock.
That's going to be awesome.
I can't wait.
So I'm not sure how many flatheads we're going to get into, but hopefully we'll catch some fish.
Yeah, I hope you do too.
Yep.
Hope you get all kinds of PBs.
Yeah.
Well, I really don't have a blue PB, so I'm going in with even a 1-pounder is a PB for me tomorrow. So
all right,
I'm not going in with anything to have to beat or overachieve. I'm just going to have fun.
Well, if you catch a 1-pounder, it's going to be hard to get the picture. The grippers won't fit in their mouth, and your finger probably won't either. And if it does, they're going to bite down on it. Them little ones are the worst.
They hurt when they're that little.
Yeah, they do.
They do. Hey, John Parker. Annette.
And I see Mike's Outdoors and Adventures. Welcome, everybody. Just came in.
Yep, let's see it now.
Let's see. You did say little brother. That's Troy's brother, right?
I reckon.
I believe that's what I saw in somebody else's chat. Today we're up to 49 people.
Uncle Lou.
Uncle Lou, welcome. So Rhonda, and there's Guerrero Bagre. Welcome. Back to Baltimore. Do you have a favorite restaurant in Little Italy?
I know where it's at, but I couldn't tell you the name of it to save my life.
Oh, wow.
It's the last one on the corner.
The last one on the corner.
What is that, on Eastern Avenue?
That's a good question too, Tom, because I don't remember the name of the street, but I can take you there all day long.
Yeah.
When I lived up there, we used to go to one, and I was trying to think of the name of it the other night. I was talking to somebody else about it, and I think that's Eastern Avenue that sits on, and it's like on the outskirts of Little Italy, and we really like that one. And it's near that, was it the Totterman's bait shop, tackle store?
Yes.
Yeah, if that's still there, I guess it's been 20 plus years.
It actually is still there.
Okay.
I think it's Tockerman's. Tocher.
Yeah, something like that's the place.
Yeah.
And if you can see there from there, that's the place we used to go. But for the life of me, I couldn't remember the name of it.
I'll have to ride down there and go look and see.
Yeah. Again, it's been so many years that the restaurant itself may or not be there anymore.
They've built that area up again too.
Have they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Everywhere builds up.
Yeah. I think, let me check this before I say it. Going up. Outdoors Addictions in the house. And going up, and I can't find it, but I saw somebody saying hello. I thought, there it is. Hello, everyone from Muddy River Catfishing. Welcome, Chris.
Hi,
Thank you for coming in.
Chris knows how to show up in the middle of Jody's challenges and make it way interesting.
He does, yes. So I wanted to get in on that. Yeah, I was going to go down on the dock the other night and when he threw that challenge out. And I see Scott Swift is in the house. Welcome, Scott.
Do you hear pork chop? All we're going to hear tomorrow is fish on, fish on.
Okay, Chrissy said they're all okay.
Is I hope so.
Yeah.
I do too.
I mean,
I hope everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I would love. I want to see him catch a fish. I'd like to see him win at least one of these. I'm not saying I want to see Jody in a Barney costume, but I'd like to see him win one.
Yeah.
He can win against Stan.
Well, I got to say, I love me some Jody, but I think it would be as somebody who lost a bet to Jody, it would be funny to see Jody in that costume. Love you, girl.
Oh no, I think it would have been easier to wear a costume than to swim at the dock. I mean, no, you don't think so?
I get in the water all the time. About every time I go fishing, I'm in the water.
Yep. That's what she said. When obviously I was there, and I was there to hand her towel when she came out. And Aaron's like, "Oh, that must have been cold." And she whispered to me, "It ain't that cold."
You could tell just by the steam coming off the water that the water temperature was warmer than the than the air temperature.
Absolutely.
She probably wants to go back in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's getting out.
Come out.
Yeah.
That's right. See, I see 217's in the house. I believe I saw Joyce Stewart. Welcome. And Uncle Jeep. Howdy, peoples.
Yeah. Chris said you'd never catch him in the water. He goes in after flatheads.
That's it. That would be funny. That was a great video that he did for that. That was cool.
Yeah.
But but the water is water, and like I said, it was colder getting out than it was staying in there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But we hustled her up to the house, and she'd get on some dry clothes.
Yeah.
Mr. Gadget.
Hey, welcome, Mr. Gadget. Hey, if you all have questions for Rhonda, please feel free to start putting them in, and make sure you highlight it with a red question mark or exclamation point. So we can pull them out, because as you all know, if you follow this channel, that I don't see all the questions all the time, because I fixate on too many things and I don't scroll fast enough.
I think I saw No Real Loss Bex ask what my favorite fishing memory was.
All right.
I have two. The first one was itty bitty hooking and pulling in a horseshoe crab at that Chop Tank River Bridge that we discussed.
Okay, cool.
He landed it. He legitimately hooked it in the mouth and landed the horseshoe crab onto the bridge. No net.
Yeah, that's rare. Usually the horseshoe crabs that I ever had, they were snagged, with a hook in the side of the shell, or to catch one in the mouth. That's pretty impressive. Yeah. That
was fun. And then watching it finally let the hook go, because I was like, how do you reach in there and get that? And he just let it go. And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. And then watch him just try to go across the bridge to try and find the water again. That was kind of cute. So he walked it down and let it go.
Cool.
And then the second one happened just not long ago. Itty bitty hooked into, he calls it Moby. It was an all white catfish, and we landed it, got it in the net, but it was so large that the tail was on the rim of the net, and he did a flip. And when he did, he snapped the hook and took off.
Oh.
So we know the size of it, but we were never able to get pictures of it. But seeing his face, and I'm thinking, he's going to be mad. But he wasn't. He put the rod down calmly, and he just went. I at least got to see it, but that was cool. I've never seen an all white catfish.
Huh? Yeah, I've heard of them. I've seen pictures, but I've never caught one or known anybody that has.
And he didn't have red eyes.
Huh?
He was just so, either from being down in the deep so long, was white and bleached out, but it was a channel cat. So it was. it was an experience. So those are my two favorite ones.
Cool. Welcome, Cody. Appreciate you coming in. Now you were telling me a story about eels earlier.
Oh yeah.
Can you talk about that for a little bit?
The place that I take itty bitty to fish on a regular basis is over on the Eastern Shore and is part of the Sassafras River system. And it's actually where DNR for Maryland does all of their studies on the eels. It seems to be where they go to do their nesting and their breeding. And a lot of eel traps and eel fishermen actually set traps down there.
Mm-hmm.
A few days, well, it was 2 weeks ago, as a matter of fact, Itty Bitty and I went to go, and there was a fish farm truck that has like those water tanks on the back.
Uh-huh.
And we actually watched one of the ships or boats. One of their guys got off at the boat ramp, walked out to the trap, unhooked it from the posts that it was sitting in, dragged it over to the boat ramp, opened it up, and was using a dip net and just pulling the eels out and dumping them in one of those great big outdoor trash cans.
Huh.
And I looked over and I looked at the guy and I said, "Is it okay for me to come over and see them?" And he's like, "Sure, come on over." So we went over, and the eel in there, I mean, there were eel as big around as my arm is. And I'm just like, wow, I didn't think they really got that big.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, they get huge down here.
Huh.
So they took the eel from the trash can and put it in the truck, and the truck left. And we went and started fishing. And the guy come over afterwards, and he says, "Now y'all be careful, because them eel are big down here. They can get really, a mess if they get in your lines." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I catch them regularly. Thanks."
Yeah. So you were telling me what they hey Edie, what they charge for those. What's the going rate on eels now? Or
the
then?
going rate on the Eastern Shore is $24.99 a pound retail.
Wow.
So it's not cheap at all.
So it sounds like those guys at the Potomac are getting a deal then.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. At one point, I think they were. I thought I heard someone, Chunky or somebody, saying like they were paying $12.99 a pound or something at one of the Asian markets up there in Northern Virginia. So that's pretty good deal. We have a store down here over on Kerr Lake that has eels, but they're the small ones.
Yeah.
And they charge by the eel, and they're probably 12, 14 inches long, and they're very thin. They charge like $4 1/4 per eel. But they're more so for the striper fishermen down here. There's some of the hybrid stripers in Gaston and Kerr, and that back in when I grew up in Massachusetts fishing the ocean, they called the eel was the striper candy.
Gotcha.
Because that's what everybody used to catch the big stripers.
I've never used it for bait until I'd say within the last 6 to 8 months over the winter, we started using it down where we're actually fishing. And believe it or not, I catch more catfish between 4 and 6 pound channel cats on night crawler than we ever get on the eel. And with that being eel breeding ground, you would think that's what they're up there eating, and that's what we would get hits on. We catch more. In fact, Moby was caught on an ultralight reel and rod because we were fishing for white perch, and he actually hit worm.
Wow.
Meanwhile, the surf rods were out with eel and had no hits whatsoever all night long.
Yeah, there's Brian. He got 4 for $23.
Cool deal.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
And say a big hello to Palmetto Cats. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate you coming in. Good seeing you, buddy.
I want to see who that fella is back there. Is that Itty Bitty?
That's Itty Bitty.
I want to see that hair.
Oh, no.
Oh, his hair's longer than yours, Jody.
I know. Look at it. It's beautiful.
Wow.
Wow. That's some nice hair right there.
He hasn't cut that since he was 12.
About.
Yeah.
12 or 13. He stopped getting haircuts.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to get one today, and we have my little town that we live in. The barber is only open Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays when he feels like it, and then he takes a 2-hour lunch in the middle of it. And so I will be at the
Whiskers.
barber shop in the morning before you get here, Rhonda.
Take your time.
Hey, Freddie.
I said, not that my hair is long, but it gets scruffy around my ears when I wear my ball cap, so it's got to go. Kevin said he just got back from Top Gun. How was it, Kevin? Did you enjoy it?
Now he's
What's that, Jody?
Edie's
say
got a
something,
full
Jody?
beard, don't he? But see that beard.
You're close.
Wow.
I have a beard.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, sure do.
Oh.
So Brian saying he needs to get his hair done.
Yeah.
I can do something that's probably going to make everyone here cringe, and it's probably not easy to display.
I don't
Okay.
know that I could move the computer. He can do a split, and everyone at the Potomac
Yes.
meet and greet can verify that, yes, he can, because we all cringed when he did several times.
As
That's
a
pretty
man,
cool.
I can imagine that cringe. Yes.
Well, you'll get to see it, Tom, because
Oh,
I'm
you're
sure
gonna
he'll
get to
show
go through
Aaron
the
at
gauntlet.
least.
You're going to get to see it firsthand.
and
He's
he
going to teach you how.
can do it on the dock, and that way.
Mhm.
Jody
I can do
see
it everywhere.
But I'm just saying, if you did it on the dock tomorrow night during the Flathead Challenge, Jody then can see.
Ah, yes.
At least.
Well, that'll be a first.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody else has ever done a split on the dock.
No.
Now, if you do a split while fighting a fish, that would be really impressive.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can try.
I
need
would
to
never
do the
get back
splits.
up.
I did the half splits. We would like have dance parties all the time.
Yeah.
And I do half splits. Go down
I
and
would never get back up. I'd be stuck there for life.
Well, the bad part is if he can't get up, it's all uphill back to the house. So we're going to have to roll him up the hill.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I'm nice and round.
Oh.
Let's see. We got Cincinnati Cat in the house. Two Stands Fishing has joined the group. He's saying, "Don't do it. Don't do it."
See, he was there. He saw it. He suffered.
Drop it
Hans
like
in
it's
the house.
hot.
Sweet doggy in the house. There's Lance.
Palmetto.
Steve Adams.
Yeah, you got that right, Kevin. My
That's a
body
bet.
wasn't made to do that.
That's a bet in the making. I always heard you had to rip something. There's a muscle. This is
At
a
my
muscle
age,
you
At my age, I don't need to do a split to rip something. All I got to do is just think about it hard enough.
You know.
No, I was always told there's a little thin muscle you had to rip, and and then you can do splits from then on.
My favorite snack is dill pickle chips.
Mm.
All right.
Funnier name that we told them. We just cannot say fruit.
And
There's
remind me, Tom, when we're on the dock, to tell you the nickname that Itty Bitty has for dill pickle chips. And I have to
Oh.
say it slow or I'll mess it up.
Is that not ready for prime time or? There you go. Kevin, I was about to say Tom would split a sandwich, but I don't think that is true either. You're right. That's the one thing it's all mine when it's sandwich time. She don't get that title when it's sandwich time.
Well, Freddie did it.
Well, Freddie started.
Freddie started it.
Yep. There you go. Tell them what you think.
Fried bologna. And I've got to tell you, I got lazy one night and I was like really tired, but I wanted a fried bologna sandwich and I needed to take a shower. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to put it in the air fryer for 5 minutes. If it doesn't turn out, it doesn't turn out. I just lose a piece of bologna. So I put it in for 5 minutes. I ran in, did my shower, come out, and I'm like, oh, that's almost perfect. The other side didn't do so great, but this side's good. Turn it over, do 5 more minutes. So air fryer, 5 minutes each side. I highly recommend the thick bologna, 5 minutes each side.
Any certain brand of bologna?
Oh, I don't care. It don't matter.
I'm not
All right,
going to wait 10
anything
minutes
go
on a
on it?
bologna sandwich.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. What do
Any
you put on your bologna?
condiments?
I'm sorry.
What do you put on your bologna sandwich?
Mustard and cheese.
Ew. No mayonnaise?
No.
Tomato? No onion?
Now, if it's tomato, see, Maryland's, I'm funny being from Maryland. I have to have Maryland grown tomatoes. If it's not Maryland grown tomato season, then no tomato. But if it's that time of the year, absolutely. Lettuce, tomato, the whole 9 yards. But all year round, basic, gotta have is just mustard and cheese with the bologna. I'm good.
Any particular cheese?
American
Swiss?
is fine.
American?
I'll use what I got, but American's fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I'm glad you didn't pick a mayonnaise because I didn't want to go through the Hellman's versus Duke's debate again.
Oh no.
I'm sorry, but it's Hellman's.
Hey, James.
Yeah,
Oliver.
it is too. It is at my house too. Hello, James. Welcome.
I was going to say, well, I can bring some for you and convert you.
David Smith has a question, Rhonda. What temp on the air fryer?
I do what it comes up, and it comes up 380 on mine.
All right. And Michael Murillo says, and we're talking about bologna again.
Oh, Kitty actually visited. That's unusual.
Oh, what's Kitty's name?
Not a kitty.
This is Smokey.
Smokey. I wonder why.
Smokey is 14 years old.
Oh, wow.
Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
Very
My
pretty.
old one. I wake up to him staring me down in the morning.
Yeah.
He legit will just stare at me until I wake up in the morning.
Huh. Well, you're lucky. I had a cat many years ago who I would feed him when I worked the night shift, and I get in at 5:30 in the morning, and I would feed him right away and then go to bed. And on the nights that I had off, where I didn't have to get up at 5:30 in the morning, where I wasn't awake, he would climb up on my pillow and start to nibble on the end of my earlobe until I got out of bed and fed him.
Oh, Lordy.
Buck Williams says demondragons.com, pontoon 20 for 20% off.
Thank you, Buck. Appreciate that.
As Freddie's Outdoors. Welcome, Freddie.
Guess what I'm getting, Tom?
What's that?
The storm that hit you earlier.
Oh, you know, Michelle said that you were going to be getting that after us, that it was headed up your way.
Through now. It made, if I start having a bad connection, no, it's the weather, but I just had thunder outside, so.
Yeah, she had said that what it said for you, Anne Arundel County, where you're at, it was up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. So.
Oh, wonderful! That means the bridge is closed and all the truckers are sitting on 50 right now.
Yeah, yeah. For those that don't know, she's talking about the Bay Bridge. It's one of the biggest bridges around, and when the wind gets really bad, they have to stop trucks from even driving up on it for fear they'll flip over.
At 30-mile-an-hour winds, they take anybody that's empty trailer cannot go across it, and at 50-mile-an-hour, no trucks across it.
Yep. Yep, that's a dangerous thing up there.
We had Ricky Solo Texan.
we had a derecho come through, 4 or 5 years ago, and it actually blew 2 cars off of that bridge during the derecho.
wow.
So now it's absolutely, they don't play around. 50 mile an hour, that bridge is shut.
Wow.
Nobody goes across.
Huh. Jeez. So welcome, Ricky. And I see Catfishing with Cause in the house. Welcome, Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
Thank you for coming in.
I'm interested in itty bitty.
Okay.
Hair. I can't get past it. Now, I know you said you hadn't cut it since you was 12, but do you play music? Because usually long hair goes with music. I was just interested in it.
I used to play violin in middle school. I really liked it, but then I traded out for a different instrument. Didn't really like it and just didn't want to go back to violin because they were so much farther ahead, so I had a lot of catching up to do. Didn't want to do any of that, so I just dropped it and haven't really picked up any music since.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to play team sports because I figured, football and his size, he'd be no.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
No, I'm fat and lazy. I like sitting in the hall.
That makes
I take
two of
full
us.
advantage of modern.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what your mom and I were talking about earlier is as I've gotten older, I'm not up for all that moving around, doing all that bass fishing, standing up in the fighting the waves and the water and the wind and all that. I got kind of used to sitting in the chair, so catfishing. So it's kind of taken a liking to me. I see Kenneth from Takedown Catfishing has joined the crew. Welcome, Kenneth. Justin's Fishing Fetish in the house.
Justin.
Paul Boyd, I'm not sure if we mentioned Paul. I think I have seen him, but I'm not sure. I don't remember shouting him out. Welcome.
Howdy.
All right, Mr. Stan.
He beat me to it.
Yep. Please thank
Stan.
Rhonda for all the help she not only gives me on Stand Day, but on a bunch of other channels as well. She is definitely appreciated.
No problem.
Jody, anything?
I'm here to help you guys. That's I don't even, me being a part of YouTube, I'm not looking to build or grow or have followers. I'm here to help you guys. If you want to go fishing and you need somebody to read chat, as long as I'm not driving from the meet and greet to home, I will gladly jump in and read chat. Jody never asked for my help with the Flathead Challenge. I just kind of felt bad for her because people would ask questions about previous weeks. And because she too was fishing, she didn't have any way of documenting that information. So I was like, well, maybe if I start keeping track of it for her, at least she can have a record and go back through and she can see the patterns or, who does what. And when somebody throws a question, there's an answer. It's not, well, I don't know. That I just started doing it.
Yeah. Because that's the answer I get. I'm like, beats me.
Somebody would say, who caught the biggest fish on your show? And she's like, I don't know. You tell me.
Yep.
That was last week.
Well, it is really nice to see you in there, Rhonda, when, let's say when you're up in the middle of the night, you're watching, and if you've stepped away for a second, like me, I take the dogs out and I want to know who's winning when I come back, and you always have everybody's up-to-date scores, and it's great to have that resource. So thank you very much for all of that.
You're absolutely welcome.
And
I really appreciate it.
You absolutely.
I want to know, what do you do? How do you come about keeping up your spreadsheet? What do you do for a living, or how do you know to do that?
I'm actually
no computer.
I'm disabled and helping when Itty Bitty went into home and hospital teaching and was only getting 6 hours of actual tutoring. I pretty much became his teacher. So kids nowadays, you got to know how to use these programs. He's better at PowerPoint than I am, but I like the Excel for keeping information like for your show and stand day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll make the formula so that it does all the math for me. I just put the number in and it goes, here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
See, I knew you had to know Excel somehow to be able to do that.
yeah.
Because I use it at work too, and I knew you had to be using it like that.
It was from teaching him.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So, and Avid is chiming in as well. Rhonda is an awesome co-host.
Thank you. But I mean, I pretty much for almost 2 years watched videos, never commented. I would hit the like button, but never commented in chats, never commented on videos. I just watched because I was trying to learn.
yeah.
And taking what I was learning here and using it to take him fishing and keep it interesting for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess New Year's Eve, I broke a 30-year tradition and I said, this year I'm going to make the resolution to support more channels. How can I do that? Being disabled, I don't have an income that adjusts, goes up, goes down or anything. The only thing I really have is time. So I can donate my time and help with different things and organize. And then that's my way of saying thank you to you guys as creators for doing the work that you do. So it's always my pleasure to help anybody.
That's awesome.
It is.
And like I said, it's amazing how YouTube taught so many of us to fish and be part of this community. Absolutely. And I say, kind of the same thing. When I first came in, I didn't know anything about catfishing. I thought I knew everything about bass fishing, but I knew nothing about catfishing. So I sat there and kept my mouth shut and just watched a lot of different people. And some people, as I always said, in anything in life, some people you learn what to do and some people you learn what not to do. So, and you pick and choose what fits for you. And
John Parker has taught me how not to catch trees.
Yeah, that's right. I see Johnny has life in the house. And Johnny Smallpepper in the house.
It's good to see him. I was missing him in some chats here recently. I just saw him last night for the first time in a while.
Hey, Kenneth.
I think I missed something up here. Let's see.
I remember a dumb question I saw in chat a while ago. Someone asked about the tank in the background and whether it was a bait tank or a pet tank.
Kind of both.
Yeah. Long story on that one.
We were fishing again at the Sassafras and itty bitty hooked into a bluegill. And you've seen the bait feeding video. It's the only video on if you haven't, it is the only video on my channel. It's a little 6-second short of us feeding him. He was only like this big when we brought him home. And he's grown now to almost 8 inches long and he's about that thick when you look at him. So it's his project basically to keep him alive and give him a good life. But when he passes, he becomes bait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to turn the tank into something else.
Then he wants to start his own little biome over there where he grows plants and shrimp and things like that. So.
Yeah. Does he have a name? Or?
Yes,
Eric.
he does.
Oh.
He's got a...
I thought he was asking for your name. I was going to say Eric.
Yeah. Fish does have a long full name, and he kind of earned it. But I'm going to cut and censor it fully. But his name is Chunky for shortness and censor.
Yeah.
Stop it right there.
Okay.
There's more to it, but to explain and give the story so you guys can infer the name.
Chunky butt.
Yes. So we had 2 other bluegill that we don't know the gender or preference of, but they got along fine. So we figured he would be added and get along. No, he killed every single one of them. Everything else in there he killed. And mind you, this fish gill shot fish.
He was
Yeah.
hooked in the gill, and
Yeah.
rather than turning him loose, he wanted to see if we could nurse him and keep him. If we had a better shot that way than turning him loose, he was probably going to just be food at that point. So,
Yeah.
Well, he then killed everything else and took over the tank. So he earned his name as Chunky Butt.
Yep.
thank you, Has.
Yeah. Has it shouting out your brownies?
I made Amish friendship bread to take down for Aaron and Lisa and Michelle and Tom.
I'll make everyone else.
Ooh.
Your boy Troy.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful.
Eric's going to
Hey,
bring
Troy, welcome.
Everyone can get jealous.
Leave it wrap. Don't take it out of the wrap.
Oh, well, fine. Just leave it all reflective and shiny.
Well,
There's,
it's shiny.
Oh.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah. I'm all about that.
I told you I was worried about bringing it down. I'm like, Michelle's going to be mad at me because Tom's sugars are going to go through the roof.
Tom's a big boy. Tom makes his choices wisely.
Okay.
We're now, I'm really trying to control my sugar level, and I weigh every decision of what I eat. So
You've been doing good.
if I haven't had enough carbs, I can do it. So
You've been doing good.
sacrifices will be made. Well, thank you.
He knows how
said
to
Art's
sneak
in the
them out
house.
and eat
Yeah. Well, as I tell her, I said I hate to go to the grocery store now or even the Dollar General because they all put those wonderful Reese's cups like right up there on the counter, or where you stand in line and you got to see them, that beautiful orange packaging and that wonderful peanut butter covered in that milk chocolate. I was like, oh my God, it's like heaven right there, and they're just tempting me. And I have not had one since March. So March 14th is when I cut off all that crap.
Whatever
You ain't had
happened to the
potato chip
aisle where they weren't supposed to put the candy, where the moms could take their kids and the kids went? What happened to that aisle? That's not there anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Yep.
Creole, Uncle G.
See, so there's Art. So there's that beautiful fish that Art caught at the dock in his
Yes.
photo. A once in a lifetime moment. Do you say Creole?
Yep. Creole.
I say
Bacon is
Uncle
not-
Jeep has a comment here. Bacon is not a carb, just saying. Uncle Jeep, I start my day with 4 strips of bacon. Well, 3.5 strips of bacon. Because I have 2 dogs here who sit there and watch me with love in their eyes, waiting for me to finish my bacon so that they can have a little piece of it. So yeah, I have bacon and eggs every morning. It's good for me and no carbs.
There you go.
And yep, there's Creole. Welcome, Jeremy. Glad to see you. One tonners for life.
Yay.
Let's see. All right, so where are we here? What do you remember? What's your introduction to the catfish community? How did you find the catfish community?
Looking up Chop Tank River fishing, and I found the Anglerholics and their broadcast on a super windy day from Chop Tank. And felt sorry for them. Went back and watched a few more of their videos, and they were doing shout outs to different channels. And I'm like, let's go check them out. Let's go check them out. And it grew from there.
Their content is fabulous. I enjoy everything they do. And that game show of theirs is the most funniest thing I've ever seen. I enjoy that.
Yep.
So we love watching that here.
We were actually fishing one night over at the Sassafras River, and they went live just in a pop-up, and we're fishing the Potomac. And I don't know that they were complaining they didn't have eel, but they were naming all the other baits they had besides eel. And I looked at itty bitty and I said, "I'm gonna go for a ride." And he's like, "What?" And I said, "Well, we just caught 4 eel. Let's take them down." So we drove from there down to the Potomac and dropped the eel off to him, and then came back home.
Yeah, I was in the chat that night when you guys showed up.
It was like 2 a.m. Yeah.
Yep.
That was the first
Mr.
time.
Gadget says he's got to go. Night all, working early in the morning. Thanks for coming in, Mr. Gadget, and hope you get a great sleep and have a great weekend.
Night night.
51 people still in the house.
Wow.
Howdy, everybody.
We're popular tonight, huh?
I just seen Lance.
Say, Ricky says he took the boat out Monday and Tuesday. He caught 2 channel cats and a 2-tone sunburn.
A farmer tan.
Yeah. Yep.
With a
I
stripe.
got the farmer's tan for sure.
I've got a good one right now myself. From
Well, I
here to
learned
here.
at a much earlier age, don't wear one of the hats with the mesh backs on it in the hot sun. If you're out like fishing all day in the hot sun, bass fishing, because you come in and you'll be able to see the pattern of your hat on the back of your head.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's not fun.
Speaking of Avid,
see.
has he give you a name yet? A nickname with a foot?
No.
Avid,
Not
you're
yet.
slipping.
Avid, you're slipping.
He named Kelly Sorefoot.
Sore foot.
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy.
Let's see. Stan's talking to Avid. Uncle Jeep brought me Mountain Dew and bacon donuts.
Oh.
That was a cat cone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those bacon donuts were pretty darn good.
Good thing, Ricky.
Mhm.
When Ricky said he had a 2-ton sunburn, I asked if he had a stripe, and he said no. He learned from Hog Leg's mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
Mhm.
So what's your PB, you and Eddie? For you said you've only caught the channel cats. How big have you caught them?
Mhm.
His is actually bigger than mine at 9.6 pounds. And I'm right at 6.4 pound for channel cat, and I've got a 6.2 bullhead as well.
That's a monster bullhead.
Redfoot.
That's huge.
Dear
That's
Lord.
awesome.
That's what Avid's calling it.
Yeah.
Oh, Redfoot.
Okie dokie then.
There you go. That's it. Redfoot.
Okie dokie
It's
then.
in stone. It's written in stone.
I don't think she likes Redfoot.
I was just trying to figure, and then I realized, oh, hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have tried to dye my hair so many different colors. I've tried like blonde, I've tried brown, I've tried black. I end up with red no matter what color it is.
Funny story. She tried neon purple once.
I did.
It turned out red.
Mm. Good gravy. You're just meant to be.
I'm just like, okay. So it doesn't matter what color I try to make it. It's just going to be whatever it wants to be. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
Hello,
see. We
Daboot.
have a new member in Daboot. Blessings to everyone just sub to the channel, and I love the fellowship that everyone has. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you coming in.
Creole.
Oh,
Yeah, Kevin's practicing his
Stan-
Creole again.
Yeah, Stan asked if that made him 2 foot, and Creole wants to know if it makes him swamp foot.
Wait, what am I then?
Oh, don't ask. We're just going to call you Split.
Split foot. Ow.
That's a good one,
Yeah,
Rhonda.
I don't have a foot name as of yet, so Let's see. Creole's talking about some seasoning. Yep, talking to Kevin. Yep. Okay. So, yeah, we're freezing up a little bit here, but it's just for a short amount of time, but it comes right back out.
Okay.
Looks like Kenneth said, "Little brother, I'm your first subscriber."
Woohoo!
All right, welcome there. Stick stands. Let me try to keep up here. There's Kevin. Put that on a cracker, dude.
There's Kevin.
I'm not sure if that's Creole.
Thank you, Kelly.
So yeah, yellow little brother
Gotta hear you say that.
says he's planning on posting an introduction video soon. That'll be awesome. Welcome. Look forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Kelly's here. Welcome, Kelly. Kelly's saying, good luck, everyone. Just jumping in before bed. Hi, Rhonda. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Hey, Sorefoot.
So the channel cats that you caught, did you catch them in the same place, or you just catch them throughout the area? Or certain
Right there,
bait you like, or
we use Nightcrawler down there most of the time, and like I said, that's mainly what we get hit on. In the summertime, using any type of cut bait, because of the crab population, you might as well hang it up. They're just going to eat it right off the hook.
Had that happen.
So eel was a logical choice because it's tougher and stands up longer. But we don't usually get that many. In fact, I've caught another eel on eel. We haven't caught catfish.
Caught our 2-pound eel.
That's how I caught the 2-pound eel that I took to the meet and greet and gave to Smoke. Was on another eel.
okay. Huh.
That's
I
cool.
I guess they would. They're predators. You know, I guess they'd eat their own. You know, most other species do.
Apparently they
Bass
will.
do. Big bass will eat small bass.
We had caught one that was just like 9 or 10 inches long, pencil type eel, and cut it in half and put it out there, and the 2-pound eel hit it. So
Right. Yep. So Uncle Jeep wants to know, have you ever considered putting out crab pots?
yeah, I actually have crab pots, but I don't usually use them because we fish from a dock type setting, and it's a public area. It's not like my area, and the boats are in and out because there's crabbers that actually have slips, and the county rents different areas of the air they can dock or marine at. So it's just too much hassle down there. I bought them to do chop tank crabbing, but then now chop tank's closed. So yeah. In fact, my very first ever experience fishing, when I was like 7 years old, my grandfather picked me up and he had a camper in Rehoboth and no rope. And he would take me down there on the weekends in the summertime when I didn't have school, and we would go out on a boat and hand line for crabs off the boat. So he would have me pulling in real slow while he netted them. So that was the only experience I had fishing or crabbing until I got married my first time.
Yeah. Now, what is the state of Maryland? Do you have to have a permit for each trap now, or?
Actually,
I know Maryland was you got to have a stamp for. I'm sorry, good.
You have to. It's a $2 recreational stamp that you can purchase, and that'll cover you for up to 10 traps that you can fish.
Okay.
You can fish 6 days a week. Wednesday is no crabbing at night.
Why? Why can't you fish on Wednesdays?
It's in the handbook that you can for crabs on Wednesdays, period. You cannot do it. You cannot harvest crabs as a personal crabber on Wednesdays.
I would really like to, obviously you don't know about why is Wednesday significant for the no fishing day? Who came up with, we're going to close it on Wednesday? But being that I lived in Maryland for all those years, they do some of the weirdest things with their fish and wildlife, and you need a stamp for everything there. If you got the full license, fishing license would cost you upwards of about $100 in that state. By the time you got all the different stamps they want you to have.
You have to have trout stamps. I do believe if you want to actually fish for rockfish now, there's a stamp that you got to purchase for that. And Yep. And
then title stamp if you want to, if the water is brackish or not, it's crazy everything that they'll soak you for.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's see.
Hey, Ernie.
Okay. Stan says in Virginia you can't commercial crab on Sunday. Now I don't know the meaning behind that one either, but a lot of places that have Sunday regulations were old religious place. Like when I was growing up in Massachusetts, the liquor stores weren't open on Sundays. You couldn't buy alcohol on a Sunday in Massachusetts.
And grocery stores, you could only have so many workers working during the day. I think they called it blue laws or something. You could only have like 7 workers on those days or something. Yeah.
Yep, blue law, exactly. Yep. So I wonder if that's what Virginia's doing there. Either that or they don't have anybody to enforce it on. They give all their guys Sundays off, I guess.
Well, in Virginia, you can't hunt on state land on Sundays either.
Right. Yep. Stan just put that in the chat. I just saw that. Yeah, that's true. But we used to have during hunting season, all my tournaments would be on Saturdays, except for when hunting season came in, and then all the guys wanted to fish on Sunday so they could hunt on Saturday.
Not Johnny.
So Ernie the Hog Snatcher's in the house.
Hey, Ernie.
The Dallas Liebert's in the house.
Hey, Dallas.
Good night, Johnny.
All right, Johnny. Thank you. I think that pretty much wraps up all of the questions that we had talked about. If anybody has anything else, now would be a great time to put it down. And I'd just like to say in the description of tonight's show, there are links, obviously, to Rhonda's channel and to Jody's Flathead Challenge that Rhonda is on, and Stan's fishing stand day tournaments that Rhonda helps with, and also the link for Avid's Bank Fishing with Rhonda and Avid Sunday at 8 p.m. So check them out if you haven't. I'm sure you probably already have, but the links are there if you need them.
And I just want to apologize to everybody. Yes, Jody, I'm doing the Flathead Challenge this week, but I'm probably not going to make stand day. And I know we've already canceled Avid's show. So Sunday, with me traveling, I just don't see me making those shows this week. Sorry, guys.
And I need to get somebody to keep score tomorrow.
No, I'm bringing my laptop. I can still do it.
Oh, okay.
I got you.
Appreciate it.
I got you.
Yay. We got Jamie Conway in the house.
Yeah, welcome, Jamie. That's a new name for me.
It's somebody's wife, Multi-Hunter, I think. I ain't gonna swear.
Okay.
Multi-Hunter 247.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Well, welcome. Appreciate you coming in. So, anybody else? I don't see any questions coming up. Anything you want to throw out there, Jody? Talk about tomorrow night?
Well, sure. Let me pull it
Now
up.
that she's got glasses, she can see her list.
Yeah.
It's so much easier. Not the computer mode.
Stan said he can keep score. It's just old school on old paper and tablet.
Yeah, at least he's not inscribing it in stone.
He used the chisel and the hammer. Yeah. Yep.
That is what he's doing.
Yeah.
Oh.
And while you're pulling that up, Lance says he has. I now have to get a red Ancient Mariner 6000 reel for my new BCF casting rod. So about 6 months I'll have it. Yep.
Tomorrow we got.
I'm not all that. Okay.
I'm fishing and Cool Cat's fishing. Fawn's will be on the boat with me. Danny Stone Outdoors. Catfishing Curtis. No BS Catfishing Travis Dyer. Susquehanna Stand. Pork Chop. 217 Rebel Outdoors. Fishing for Whiskers at the dock. And Half Century.
Yay!
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite the crew there. It's going to be fun when you beat them, right, Rhonda?
Hey, wait a minute. I'm not talking smack yet. I haven't even caught a blue.
Want to make a bet? Want to make a side bet?
No.
Actually, the water's warm. The water is warm this time of year.
If I lose, he does splits.
All right.
That's an easy one. I don't have to do anything but lose.
There you go. Okay, and there's Multi-Hunter 247 just came in. Welcome.
Howdy.
And I think I saw, let me back up just a hair here. Don't want to miss nobody. Ace Catfishing in the house.
Ace.
Hello, Ace.
Howdy,
Welcome.
Ace.
So is there anything you'd like to add, Rhonda? We've got 43 people still hanging in with us.
I can't think of anything.
I saw a question in chat that asked bucket list of places to fish if it hasn't asked already.
I want to fish the Mississippi so bad.
Wow.
I do.
With anybody in particular?
It doesn't matter who, but I would like it to be somebody that at least knows it, because the horror stories I've heard of that river, I don't want it to be with somebody that doesn't know the river.
Like me.
Right. Yeah. We talking about from a boat or from the bank?
Either. See, I've always been a bank fisherman, and to this day, I prefer bank over boat because I feel like boat's more work. The gas, the anchor, the up, the down, just the having to balance yourself, and I feel like that's more work than casting a line out and sitting in my truck.
Yep. It sure is.
Yeah. So I've always been a bank person over a boat.
Two stands.
Stan says, please, for the love of God, Tom, do not let anybody do the split live. I'm still cringing from seeing it.
The look on Stan's face when he did it at the meet and greet. Oh.
3 times.
You could see
hey, Stan, Stan's
face.
While you're here, Stan, tell Diane I sent out her stickers that she won in the Anglerholics thing the other day. Elizabella had said she didn't have D. Smithy's address. I said, well, that's Stan's wife, Diane. I said, I know where she lives. She lives at 222 Sturgeon Way.
Yeah.
So they're in the mail coming to you. There's Whisker Dreams and Cockeyed Catfish joining the group.
Hello.
Howdy.
We're just kind of getting ready to shut this down so Rhonda can get some sleep before her travels tomorrow to the dock.
Sleep? I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep. Are you kidding? I'm so excited.
We gotta clean our car tonight, kid.
I'm going to take the car down and vacuum it out, and then I'm going to bring it back and pack it up and have it all ready to go. And I don't think sleep's happening.
We get to look at pretty colors through a car wash.
Wow.
my car wash does disco lights so that when the bubbles are on your car, they turn the bubbles different colors. Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe you could film it. That'll be your next video.
There you go.
Ah, yes.
At the car wash, en route to fishing.
Yeah. Ricky from Whisker Dreams is here.
Hi.
Welcome, Ricky. Let's see.
Ricky Ace got his jigs. He opened them up on a show last night on a live,
Oh, cool.
and he liked them. So
Yay.
That's
And
great.
Tom, you don't know it yet, but I'm going to hit you up for some bass fishing tips because I want to get better at snakehead fishing, and I understand it's pretty much the same as bass fishing.
Yeah, you cast it out and you reel it in, and they bite it.
And they bite. That hasn't worked for me so well lately.
Yeah, I think I can help you in that department. You asked me how to catch catfish. I'm not so sure about that yet. That's a work in progress.
I'm still learning that myself.
Hold on just a second, please.
Justin.
All righty there. Had a message here at the house. Justin said, I drove all the way to the Gulf Coast and all I caught was catfish.
Mhm.
Took a
Justin,
charter
did you go down and fish with Creole?
I'd go fish.
I think
with
Justin
Creole.
was with Creole this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd love to fish with Creole. That would be
Oh,
a
yeah.
blast.
That would be fun.
Mhm.
And I love to fish. Like you talk about the Mississippi. There's a bunch of great guys fishing the Mississippi. I think it would be a hoot to fish with Danny too.
Oh, yes.
See, whether you catch anything or not, you'd be laughing the whole time. So
Mhm.
Danny's a whole story and one of my favorites because he was doing one of his lives and he didn't know how to post the link from StreamYard to chat. And I, at this point, had never done it, but I had been in enough chats where Jody herself had told people how to, post the comment.
Yeah.
So I'm walking it through it. And as I'm doing it, he timed me out. So he apologized over and over again. Please don't unsubscribe from me. I didn't do it on purpose. So yeah, that was funny.
So Creole said that Justin got some good food on Sunday, though.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Let's see. Yep, he said the best boat snacks ever. Alrighty. There's Ricky from Whisker Dreams. Just wanted to say we're sorry to hear about your sister passing, and sorry to hear that. And but we wanted to congratulate Tammy on doing well in the tournament this past weekend. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Enjoyed watching her.
Sure, Stan. Sure.
Totally.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine Danny and Stan having a conversation?
It would never end.
That's right. And neither one of them would stop for a breath. So
now put Danny, Stan, and Steve Adams together.
yeah, oh yeah. Steve's
Steve
another
used to go to the
Mississippi guy.
Mm-hmm.
Steve has some awesome stories.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the night we chatted with Steve. That was hilarious.
Oh, cockeyed.
Cockeyed cat.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, all right, everybody. If we've been on here for almost an hour and a half, if there are no other questions, we'll let Rhonda go and Jody see if she gets some sleep tonight. Are you working on your sleeping, Jody? Or?
I got 3.5 hours straight the other night.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's good. You feeling better?
Yeah.
That's good.
Good.
You need that. So don't let me catch you in another live in a half hour.
I ain't making no promises. I still got stuff to get ready to go fishing tomorrow.
She'll be up in the night. You know that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. One night we were here, and we had gone long, and Jody had said, when we finished, and we were back in the basement, and she said, "Yeah, I'm really tired. I'm going to jump off of here." And then 15 minutes later, she had changed clothes and put on something different, and she was in somebody else's live. Don't think I didn't see that. we must have been boring her.
She took her 20-minute nap and woke up.
Yeah. So, well, all right, everybody. Then we're, Whiskers. She'll be in a hog leg show later.
Yes, you will.
I've not even been falling asleep on shows anymore. I'm doing a lot better.
Good.
That's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't afford to be doing that, driving home and being tired like the way you have been, and that's just not safe. And I'd hate to see something happen to you. So I'm all for you getting some sleep.
Yeah.
Well, all right then, everybody. We're gonna call this a night, and Rhonda, don't go anywhere when we end.
Yes, sir.
There's Dominic Hollis in the house. A little late, Dominic. I hope you got to see some of the show. If not, you can always come back and watch it. It's been a great discussion tonight. Still 38 people in the house. I want to thank everybody for coming in.
Thank you.
And have a great night. And we will see you next weekend. We don't know who our guest is just yet. We haven't worked that out. But we will usually post that usually Sunday or Monday for the next week. Mm-hmm. And we'll see who's on the agenda next week. So everybody have a great night, and we will see you next week. Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.